These things are hurting.
She's still kind of squishy, huh?
She's gonna be for a while, though. So, there's not really much I can do on the matter.
Right, okay.
And it's also just, this is a long walk.
Yeah.
Oh, and we had another character model, or 2 new character models come up. Because look at that girl's butt. Yep, that's a girl's butt!
Well, of course it is.
Well, in case people were wondering, you know.
Well, what would they think it is?
I think I even got into a debate on the matter. It's just like, is it supposed to be like a Neko girl? Is that supposed to be a tail?
I don't think so, no. It's just kind of I don't know what you call it, but it's the loins, essentially.
I guess.
Like armor loins type thing. So.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost there, I promise. This is actually where we had to go.
Okay, next topic.
Next topic! Lightning round! Let's go! Oh, and we actually got a different variation of the Finger Titan.
He's just like shade of pink.
Now he flips you off in pink. Exactly. That's why pink energy is too much. So I actually did want to go into this with you, Ralph Baer, because you brought up the article as well. Where you've read the, what was it, the Console Wars?
Yes.
So does it cover Ralph Baer at all?
No, it's mostly all about Nintendo versus Sega.
Okay.
So.
But you knew who Ralph Baer was.
Yeah, essentially the father of the modern video game console.
Yes.
So, truly sad, but man, what a legacy he's left behind.
Yeah, and so it's actually one of those things where I would love to know if his family ever got into the business.
I don't think so.
No, that's kind of sad, but... Hi, Lacus. Make me feel better, please. Actually, before you make me feel better, let me go revive Mew. Because she missed out on a lot of XP.
Like, yeah, that's the thing about Bear. He was pretty consumer conscious. He wanted to sell the Magnavox much, much cheaper than it actually retailed for.
Yes. And, I mean, look, a lot of people might not give a whole lot of credit to the Magnavox Odyssey because it was just yet another Pong console out there. But without the Odyssey, without all those Pong consoles, would you have ever had the Atari 2600?
Probably not.
There would be no reason to do it. So we can credit a lot of that to him. Now, this one you actually did not bring up, but I want to get your opinion on it.
Yeah.
So, apparently, Alex, you no longer have to keep in memory all the passwords that you use for every site, because now Google has backed an answer. Which is basically a little USB drive that acts like a digital fingerprint.
Right.
You put it into your computer, and therefore you're authenticated on all fronts.
That would be so nice, really, because I know I have a lot of problem remembering passwords. I know I probably shouldn't even do this, but I do actually have my browser remember passwords many times, but...
So you don't see a problem with that?
No, I mean, look, there's gonna be security risks, but... Guess what? There's security risks now with your, right? So there's always going to be a risk, but but I think this could be a useful piece of technology when it comes. I know it's probably still a ways off, but
okay, because me and Romney were actually making the joke. Well, this is all going to work until Skynet takes over.
Yes, and I for one welcome our new robot overlords.
Really? We have to go that way? You're just gonna welcome the new robot overlords, huh?
Yes.
You're gonna dive headfirst into the Matrix.
If you guys need a propaganda minister, man.
It's official! You've heard it on Drak and Shadow! The Shadow Blazer is pro Skynet. Oh my gosh. Alright, that alone made this worth it. Can we do this? Yes, we can. We're gonna get Leia an upgraded bow. Because why not?
Alright.
Alright! Oh yeah! And it's actually better than her own bow.
Alright.
That's kind of how sad that is. Alright.
Tis the case with RPGs.
Exactly. Where a Laconian sword is apparently better than a freaking lightsaber. I'm not going to keep I'm not gonna stop bringing that up, because...
Or just about every weapon you can give Black Rose will be better than her default animation one.
Yes, the big Cloud Strife sword. Alright, we gotta sell some stuff while we are here, because I need to free up some inventory space. Ceramic crown, I don't think we can use that on anybody. Sell, Chris. Ceramic bow. I'm gonna keep the Force Staff, because I have a feeling I might need it. Okay, so now that we've done this, let's go and get some armor.
Armor.
Not for Leia, but for Mew. Because it's been a while since we upgraded her. We're gonna get a royal vest, because it is just so royal. There we go. Item! Chris! Give it to Mew! Mew! I want you to wear it like one of your French girls. You know what? That reference worked better in my head.
What?
That may have been the episode title right there.
Wear it like one of your French girls.
Wear it like one of your French girls.
Right.
This is
that
what
seriously came out of left field. I don't even know what to say.
This may be one of those episodes, Alex, where we go off the deep end. That's okay, because people love those episodes. Alright, so now that we can do that, I'm actually just going to do another quick safety save here. It's much like the safety dance. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your woes behind.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't dance with Lacus, then you ain't no friend of mine.
Yes, always dance with Lacus.
Lacus the Third! Wah, wah, wah.
Lacus the Third!
What was that reference to?
Yeah, I figured I was gonna have to mention this, but, so, that's actually so, let me...
Uh-oh.
It's kinda like... Okay, so let me talk about this. So, for those of you who don't know, between Phantasy Star games, we play .hack games.
Yes.
And there's a character named Pyros. He's a big, heavy axeman, and he's, like, very
I'm afraid you were going to go and mention Pyros.
He's very chivalrous.
Chivalrous?
God, I cannot say the words at times.
Sorry.
But he's that, and, so... Pyros will come back again in the next set of .hack games, the GU games, only he comes back as Pyros the Third, and he always has to flamboyantly announce that he's Pyros the Third!
Oh!
I cannot wait for .hack GU.
Oh! And now the Lupin joke has just lost all of its meaning to me. All laughter has left my mind. And here's yet another new model. Female robot. With her brain sticking out. This is the point where you can tell, like... So one of the designers just got bored and just started coming up with the grossest stuff he could think of. I want to make a robot, but with the brain sticking out.
I don't see a brain.
It's just like the top area.
Okay.
Looks kind of pink, so... It's a
Are you
cyborg.
sure that's not like the circuit board?
It could be a metal plate, but I'm gonna say brain. And it even has an eye patch.
Yeah.
Because it has to be more pirate-like.
Unless it's a targeting scope.
Could be.
So should we continue discussing them?
Yes, continue discussing. So, give me a second here and I can bring up yet another story. So... we're not going to go into Kristen Ritter in AKA Jessica Jones because, obviously, well, you don't have an opinion on AKA Jessica Jones. Mm-hmm. But I am going to get into this stuff. So, poor Sony. Poor Sony.
Oh, Sony.
They got hacked bad, and we keep on getting revealed truths and half-truths of stuff that they were working on, and now we don't even know if they're working on it anymore because they don't have the... secrecy anymore.
Yeah, whatever.
So, first of all, Sony was apparently working on a deal, supposedly, to get the rights from Nintendo to do a Mario animated movie. Now, this has led to some debate as to whether... because a lot of people have wondered from the movie Wreck-It Ralph why Mario was nowhere near it. Sonic was, but why Mario wasn't. And so some of the debate that's been sparked because of this is why. Is because Nintendo wanted to make their own. Which I would say, no crap, Sherlock. Of course they did.
Well, that's... Or Nintendo's just... Well, Nintendo's also fiercely protective of their property, so... They may have just read the script and said, no.
Well, and here's the thing. They could still be in negotiations.
Yeah.
And here's... The other thing, too, is that Nintendo, after having their properties just drugged through the mud, they are very protective of them now.
Which is what I just said.
Yeah, exactly. So, Bob Hoskins' Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
The Zelda CDI games and the Mario game. That's why I made the argument to Romney, and I'll make it to you. Why have Sony even remotely involved? Nintendo could just do it themselves.
I don't think Nintendo has, like, an in-house animation studio, though.
They don't, but, you know, Nintendo could possibly just do it. They could just make a movie and have their staff do it. But the other thing also that came to me was, what would an animated Mario movie be like? Because I would actually make the argument, we've gotten them. Galaxy is a lot like a movie. 3D World is, to some extent. How are you going to make that into kind of a movie-scape? While my phone goes off.
Yeah, I thought I kind of had to wonder the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know how you would do that. Not saying that I wouldn't want a Mario movie, I just don't know if you can do it now.
I don't think Mario transitions well into a movie format.
Especially since he's a silent protagonist, and the world itself doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as we want to fault the Bob Hoskins movie, there wasn't a whole lot to go off of.
Yeah. That's kind of why they had to make up so much stuff. I mean, granted, the Mario movie went through so many writers.
Yeah.
But that, there's just not much to Mario. It's pretty simple, and it just doesn't lend itself to a feature-length film. I think Romney had a good idea, though, about just making Mario animated shorts preceding a feature film. And I think that could work.
That might be the way to do. Like, if you wanted to do Mario shorts kind of about the length of, like, Sonic Boom episodes, that would make more sense.
I mean, like...
They don't have to be as outlandish as the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, okay? Yeah. They can just be... He goes through one area, and it's fine. You know?
A little... And... as much as I'm really nervous about the idea of the Sonic movie out of Sony, Sonic lends itself a lot better to the idea of feature films.
But hey, Sony, if you want to do a Shinobi movie, I'm totally for that. I'll admit it right now. I'm totally for it. Do it.
Well, that leads into the other story that Sega's now...
Yes, so they've been apparently talking with Marvel for the longest time about trying to work a way for Spider-Man to enter the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Specifically, the ways that they were talking about were the next 3 movies would be done by Marvel Studios. So, in essence, I would think a reboot, roughly. New actor and everything like that. Or maybe they'd bring Andrew back in and they would be in continuity. But they would be done by Marvel Studios and share the profits, kind of thing.
I don't think it'd be wise to do another Spider-Man reboot.
The other thing that they would also do is that in order to promote this, you would possibly get Spider-Man to be in Captain America Civil War, the 3rd Captain America film. Now, this is where a lot of the controversy kind of comes in, because it is Civil War. So this is something that me and Romney brought up is, well, one of the things that came out of Civil War was the infamous Spider-Man comic One More Day, which makes us really worried that the next Spider-Man film would be inspired by One More Day.
Right.
And I, personally, as a Spider-Man fan, I don't want that. I don't want it anywhere near. I will honestly say, if I get a One More Day storyline, I'm not even seeing the movie. Not even for a review. I'm not doing it. Because it is so dinky. All right, we actually have made our way through Mistoke Castle. We actually didn't name the town or anything like that, but we needed to get Leia's pendant because this is going to open up yet another area for us.
Woo!
So,
new worlds to explore.
New worlds. A whole new world. Okay, no, I'm not going there.
Okay.
I'm not going to sing.
Yeah.
So, overall, and also the other thing that's come out of this is Andrew Garfield has even come out against this idea and stated, if you did this, I'm not coming back for Spider-Man. So, you like the Amazing Spider-Man films.
Yeah, it's got problems, I'll admit, but I do like them as much as I like the original films.
Would you like this to happen?
Yeah.
Where the Marvel Cinematic Universe welcomes Spider-Man in? Or do you think Sony should just continue to make its own properties out of it?
I guess I could go either way, because I know Romney made some valid points about maybe Spider-Man's just better as a self-contained universe. And
that's true, but he's also had a lot of villains that have been shared.
Yeah, I understand that, of course. But I don't know right now. I mean, there's a lot of more problems, of course, if you try now to introduce them, because there's continuity gaps and all that.
Mm-hmm. So, in essence, you probably would have to reboot Spider-Man.
In which case, I say, don't do it right away. You're going to have to wait a few more years down the road.
Well, this would have happened a few years down the road anyway. Aside from the whole Civil War entrance, which I don't know if they actually would have gone through with. It would be great to see Spider-Man in it, but that seemed a little too soon for a deal to be brokered like that. At least to me. So I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And the other big question I got later from it was, does that mean we would see Spider-Man in the Avengers? Not necessarily, because even in the comics, Spider-Man isn't necessarily an Avenger. Mm-hmm. He's more like an honorary dude. Right. He's more doing his own thing. So I think that's pretty much the end of the lightning round. Oh, and I also wanted to get your opinion on the amiibo stories that we covered. So, the top three selling: Mario, Link, and Pikachu. Are you surprised by this?
Not in the slightest.
It kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They also have mentioned that certain models of amiibos, because they're not doing very well and they're already behind in their factories, that they're just going to discontinue these models.
I've heard that story, yes.
They say permanently. I don't. I say Series 2. You know, like where they had Marth and Samus and a couple of others not doing very well. I just think they would bring them back later because they wouldn't be making Mario, Link, and Pikachu and having them sell out. Because, I mean, the bottom line is, people were going to buy the Mario amiibo. Also, the amiibos are doing as well, according to Nintendo, as Super Smash Bros. Wii U is.
Excellent.
Surprised by this?
I don't know if I should. I don't know. Really, I mean, I guess I kind of am, just because they're basically little action figures. And
I'm not, and the reason I'm not is simply because they were advertised at E3 with Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. I think that's why they did well. And then also the Princess Peach that sold for $25,000.
The defective Peach.
The defective one that had no legs.
Wow.
So, I think it's pretty much confirmed. Peach has no legs under those things. Because somebody apparently got it right in continuity. I could be making a dozen jokes here, but I'm not going to, and it's because it's Princess Peach, okay? I'm not gonna sully the thing. It's just a defect. I've already seen people go out and say, well, we don't need her for her legs anyway. Or even worse, I saw a Twitter post actually go, yeah, well, her boobs were better anyway. I was like, seriously? It's Princess Peach, guys!
Yeah, come on, we all know Samus is the one with boobs. Come on, you know it's
Alex
true.
is getting an
true.
evil eye right now.
You know it's true, Adam. Samus is the hot shonen girl.
She might be, but she's also a badass bounty hunter.
That's why she's badass. Well, that's not the only reason she's badass. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say that's the only reason, but...
I'll admit, like, when it came... I know... If I ever bought an amiibo, I don't think I'd ever use it. I like some of the portraits they have. Like, for example, I said on the episode, I would like to get the Samus one, because that's a really cool pose.
Yeah.
I don't know of the Link or the Mario one, but that's the thing. If I were to buy these things, I'd never use them. Because I would never want them to break or anything like that. They're just too cool for school. I can't even believe I went there, but I did. It's one of those episodes, guys.
He is really, really low.
Yep. Healing session. I would also like to point out that Alex is here, and that means he has survived yet another week of holiday shopping season.
Though I do really want to kill whoever decided, hey, we need to be open till 11 p.m. Not because it's hard to do that, to be open late, but just because the store's completely dead by 10. There's just no
Because
reason.
people know that it's going to close by 11, and therefore are not going to try and go in there unless they absolutely have to.
Yeah. Or they don't know that we have long extended hours anyway.
Exactly.
So it's just like, oh, the weeknights... Saturday night was a little more tolerable just because it's busier, but...
Yeah.
Like, the weeknights being open till 11 o'clock, it's just unbearably slow.
Oh, I'll believe that. And I guess the only solace I would give you would be the fact that you aren't Walmart.
Yeah.
And therefore open 24 hours all year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, certain ones aren't, but most of them try to keep to that. Alright.
I like us.
I like us the third. Here we go. I can literally do this without looking. That's awesome.
Well, it's saving, there's not much to it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're one of those weird saves that has no as the default.
There we go. So, now that we have gotten the Leia's pendant, let's go ahead and unlock the next world. Which is going to require more walking.
Walking.
Because we've had our fill? No, we really haven't. Because here we go. Trust me, and I actually did get a question, like, does it eventually get better? Do you actually have to walk everywhere in this game? It does get better. Oh, new model. Lady, pull your dress up a little bit.
Banshee.
Oh, you can't. You only have one hand. She's gonna complain to you to death. So, basically, what you have to deal with on an everyday basis in the holidays? Hi-yo!
Oh, I do need to counter one thing you said in the Geek News. No, we're not going to get Delta Emerald. For the same reason we didn't get Water Blue.
Or, I don't know what you would do with Crystal.
Well, Crystal was pretty much Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess Heart Crystal then. But
I would dare make the argument that Nintendo will redact that if there's money involved. If there isn't, then they're not going to care.
Well, they don't need to, because they made Alpha... Now, I'm like Romney too, I get the Greek letters mixed up. Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. They made them. They're fine with that. Game Freak is fine with those two new updates. They don't need to make a Delta Emerald.
Okay, then my apologies. We will get Zeta Diamond and Omega Pearl.
Cool.
Or no, not Omega. Gamma Pearl.
Gamma Pearl?
Yes. So that means that the Pearl cover monster can become the Incredible Hulk?
Okay.
Because gamma radiation. I was just making the comment that, like, they will do well, or those games are going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think we were talking about, like, if they had done a Skylanders clone of Pokemon around the same time that Gen 6 was coming out, it would have done a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because the Pokemon hype would have been there.
Yeah.
And I still hold true to that. If they had actually done that, it would suck. I mean, that's one of the reasons I would say Alpha Ruby and Omega Sapphire sell well. Is because they're kind of hopping on that Pokemon bandwagon.
I think you got it backwards, actually.
Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, yeah. It happens to everybody! We are fighting a literal fireball. In a snow level